36? How many are Liberty?
Third.
That's so, I mean, that's about as full as we want to get.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
How's the food?
Good. I've been actually eating every night.
Has it taken some workload off of your, as having those people back there?
It's amazing.
It's almost like having another jailer, isn't it?
It is. It's amazing, and the inmates respect both of the ladies. And
Good.
That, it helps.
Good, and the portion sizes are fine?
Perfect. And just some tweak it to the menu, once you get it approved, I will bring it for y'all to see what
Okay.
they're serving.
Well, good, that's great news. Which one do we want to do first, the jail or the sheriff's office? Sheriff's office? Let's do the sheriff's office. 26 calls, 206. That's-
The mental health persons that we talked to, got you to people, nurses on that.
So I've been, is that on? Yeah.
There was at least one last week that I know of. These two, one in Graham, one in Albany.
So we've been able to use that critical response team, or we call it critical incident team, is that what we're calling it, CIT?
Critical care responders.
Critical care responders, CCR.
Yes, sir.
We've, people that have come in for emergency detention orders, we've been able to use that critical care response team. And, I think it's been mostly positive. I think,
Care responders.
I don't think it was any fault whatsoever to the group last week, but I think we took a situation, ended up being worse probably, but I don't think there's any fault at all spread on that. It just kind of blew up once we got there.
In one of those situations, we look at it.
He's had some issues.
Yeah.
Some issues.
Recurring issues, like it's been on everybody knows who he is. It's
And it's community care responders.
community care responders. Now, I'm just gonna apologize up front for the livestock complaint that's about to come. I know it's coming.
You know, like that's one.
Any questions for Chief?
And the rest of the.
Did y'all have any issues with people leaving the concert? Do you know of any issues with people leaving the concert Saturday night?
Some very, very good things.
Everybody just was the most well-behaved. Everybody looked like they were having fun. I didn't see one person who was drunk. I saw plenty of people drinking, but nobody who I thought was drunk. Eric, I don't think Graham could have looked better than it looked. It was perfect. My wife told me to shut up about it because I wouldn't stop talking about it. You want to transition over to jail? So what's a typical, how long is a Liberty County person typically staying with us?
Right, and I've had some that have been here since the beginning, and some that get here and in a week they're gone again.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
It just, there's no rhyme or reason to it.
And there's no method, it's just their court systems or.
So they're not sending us, that's not like Bell County where we're getting paper ready.
Absolutely.
We're
not.
getting people that they're having to take back
Yes,
and forth.
I think I have 3 Liberty County right now that are paper ready.
Okay.
Yes, they're having to come back and forth.
Are they causing problems, or is it?
I have one that's in disciplinary right now for starting a fight, but he's already like, I'm so sorry, I went out.
Yeah, because we really didn't have Bell County
We
problems.
really haven't had that much of an issue.
Okay, good.
Because once they figure out that we're not gonna play, they settle back down.
Good.
Yeah, Bell County was ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was telling the sheriff, I was so excited that these numbers have popped up because we do, with the jail getting older, we're starting to build an inventory list of things we need to do. And, I mean, that's the right place for this money to get invested back in. From a budget standpoint, it's wonderful.
Did you have something, Mr. Wiley?
Everything we can get, four Banner County, one Rockmart.
Yeah, it's good to see the neighboring counties kind of come back because they were gone for a while. And why was that?
Baylor's hit or miss on arrests.
Okay.
And like, if their people get arrested in Wichita Falls, they'll just leave them in Wichita. But if they physically arrest somebody in Baylor County, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna bring them to
Okay.
us.
Unless your buddy CJ gets in the break for him.
CJ's not Baylor, is he?
Yeah.
No, he's asking.
Yeah.
We call him. I'll take your excuse.
We got any questions for Beverly or Chief?
Sure.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That brings us to, I think it's going to be our most interesting topic of the day. This item number 10, discuss and consider accepting the Motor Vehicle Crime Prevention Authority grant for the installation of flock cameras to prevent and deter auto theft in Young County. Will, how are you?
I'm well. How are y'all doing today?
Good. I understand you've got a big training today.
I appreciate the training, Chris. Teaching lots of folks at the sheriff's office. We train through some different church here shortly.
Good. I would like to do an active shooter training in the courthouse.
I think Chris will volunteer to be the suspect.
Good.
You get shot with ammunition rounds.
When I get some to go back after who I want to,
We'll give you some money.
I would pay a lot of money to get some shots in Stacy.
So this is our proposed MVCPA catalytic converter FY26 grant. Chief Moody and I, we went to the Texas DMV conference here a few weeks ago. Our county was awarded $78,400 with a cash match from Young County total agencies involved of $19,600. And I've broken down the distribution of equipment of the items on the back of the page. Breaks down the cost for agencies. That's per equipment. So each license figure itself is $600, and each real-time surveillance camera is $1,000. That is the cash match portion on us. Proposition for the interlocal agreements was the city of Grand would contribute 50% of the total cost of the LPRs and real-time surveillance cameras inside of the city limits. And we'll have an intersection here, arguably one of the busiest ones in town. It's 4 license plate readers and 1 real-time surveillance camera. That's the kind of the structure that Block recommended for each primary intersection. So $20,000, 50% of the total cost. All follows the same plan. 50% of the total cost for the LPRs and real-time surveillance carried inside their city limits. And the Flock OS is the operating system that gives us a designated amount. So the PD is the most large department, and the sheriff's office for peace officers and only. So we would select the staff there. Kind of our plan was that each patrol sergeant on shift would have access to it and review their administration tasks. And only PD and obviously the sheriff's office have access. That doesn't mean that just because Wynn has access to the system, you guys aren't notified. If a vehicle crosses into our county and if it hits on our hot list, whether it's something as simple as expired registration, then dispatch immediately gets a notification. That notification is given out to every entity and agency working on that current shift. Strictly for investigative purposes, so if Wynn wanted to go in and look at his license plate when UT, and you can see each time it hits on camera specifically. So for that side, we're trying to lessen it for staff. And we'll have policies that we'll implement at the sheriff's office to make sure that it's being used for its appropriate.
Hey, you don't want it to be abused.
No, sir.
The other nice thing, and I believe you told me in the past, is the Flock system is a pretty big network, and we would have access to, say, Jack County's cameras, and so Jack has them catching one side of the highway, we would put it on the other. So then both counties would now have in and out camera accessibility as far as to see things. The split would be, $1,700 for the city of Graham, $1,700 for the city of Alny, and the county would take the bulk of it, which would be $16,200. We can use Senate Bill 22 money for this. This would be a great use for our Senate Bill 22 money, I think. And by the way, I did apply for next year's Senate Bill 22, so the applicant, that has been done, so. I tell you, I've talked to other county judges who have these systems, and, well, the good and the bad, I'll give you the bad first. The bad is Flock is so popular right now that they're struggling to keep up with the demand for cameras and setups, so.
It's up to a year.
Yeah, so that's the negative. Jack County has a partial system in, they don't have their full system in, they've got a partial system in, and they've had numerous stolen vehicles located. They've seen it as a huge win, even with a partial system. I'm a fan, I'm for it. I think this will be a really neat tool to help find stolen vehicles, help find vehicles that are known, like there's a state, I don't know what the term is, but Bolo on TV.
Bolo.
Is that a real term?
Bolo.
Yeah, like cars that have a Bolo on them. If they hit Young County, we're gonna know.
There's a lot of uses that come out of the system, aside from the auto theft, kind of murder theft portion. Missing persons is something we get a lot of. There's a lot of stolen vehicles in Graham. We've had a massive flux of those just in 2025.
Might even be able to, if we had it, to be able to figure out who were doing the courthouse vandalism. With the camera systems around, might have been able to figure that out.
That and even stuff that's stolen on dirt roads, things like that. You can see when they're coming in and when they leave. So it's good.
Can be a great resource.
Yes.
For us.
I talked to a lot of different sheriffs, my little office down there, here in their time down there. Those that's already have it, they help them on a lot of different cases. It's an officer that works 24 hours a day, they don't eat or sleep. And doesn't show up. So that's a big plus.
And this is gonna be most effective for, like you said, vehicles that have all points bulletin or something that's out in the system. You're not gonna go after, send 15 patrol cars after a cattle trailer that's got 10-year-old expired tags. That's what people are concerned about, is they're gonna, oh my gosh, I forgot to get my tags, they're gonna send all,
But if your
cops.
car's stolen, we can put that in the system, so
And
that
they're
all of a
looking
sudden,
for it.
if it picks it up and like your stolen vehicle was here, it gives, you can focus your search.
Right.
It's gonna point people in the right direction as opposed to being, scattered around looking.
I understand a lot of the public's concern with the privacy aspect of it. This is an investigative tool.
Right.
And it's to help prevent crime. The scope of our investigations are not going to be something as minor as traffic violations. We'll stand by that.
Well, I know I've heard lots of complaints about it, being an invasion of privacy.
But if you save lives, that other stuff out there,
If it saves lives, yes, but it's still, there's people out there that don't want you to be able to see when they go to town. They don't want you to see when they come back. Not out of anything other than privacy.
We're just going to be watching God.
I think I've heard things to do with watching the sequel.
I know, but that's what they think.
I know.
I'm just telling you what they're thinking, call and tell you.
Would someone like to make a motion to accept the Motor Vehicle Crime Prevention Authority grant for the installation of flock cameras and to partner with the cities of Graham and Alny for a countywide program of flock cameras and use Senate Bill 22 to fund the county's portion of this program?
so we'll
That was a mouthful.
much, you covered it all.
I think I got it all. We have a motion for Commissioner Wiley. Is there a second? I'll make the second. Is there any discussion?
Terminator.
Terminator?
Mm.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. You applied for the grant. Can you accept the grant?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if I need to do something, you'll let me know, but, we'll let everybody know that it's a go, and I guess we'll have to come up with an interlocal agreement between the three entities for this. I'm sure we could probably, some in your network, find other counties that have one that we can kind of,
Already have.
maybe, good, that's what we need, a template. Good.
We have that ready. I spoke with Texas EMB and I told them our next step of this was approval for the grant, and then Flock's side was also approval of the grant, and then the interlocal agreement. They're estimating 4 to 6 months out, so they're guessing later in February for installation. It states on here, but payments from the county, the city of Graham or Hawley, none of that is required until all the equipment is installed and it is working.
And I would envision we would probably pay it and then bill Scram and bill Albany and get reimbursed for their portion. I mean, their portions are so small.
Yeah.
That I would think just for ease, that might be the best way to do
They
it.
gonna pay at least B-22, just like you
Yes,
said,
B-22.
and then they're reimbursed us for it.
Well,
We can get a catch on that if we don't watch
we'll
that.
pay it out of the general fund and then we'll reimburse ourselves out of that. For our
We gotta be careful how we do
I
that
know,
one.
I know, we'll figure it out.
We covered
Here, let me add
I did. Yes, thank you for pointing that out.
Brother, if you got a grant, you go through like that.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. You know, when I was writing, when I wrote the agenda, I did it that way to make my motions easier, and I just went ahead and all I would. I'm thinking of my Buffalo guys.
That
All right.
probably won't tell us the county anything going in that route. Well, if we use SB, well, it might lose us, but for the most part, SB 22.
You're right, I mean, we're gonna use Senate Bill 22 money, but Senate Bill 22 money is kind of funded, so.
It is once we accept it.
Yeah. Oh, and I did apply, I think I just said that, I've already applied for next year's Senate Bill 22.
It's not tax dollars.
Yeah, it's not tax.
Kyle and I are about to have to start working on the compliance report here in about a month, and that's always a doozy. All right, let's move to item number 12, ratify the interlocal agreement between Young County, City of Graham, City of Albany, Stevens County, and the City of Breckenridge regarding bond supervision. So this, basically Cliff does bond supervision for Young and Stevens County, and so we had to update our interlocal agreement to factor in Cliff's raise. Because what we do is we take Cliff's salary and we split it among all the entities, and then Young County covers his training costs, his legal costs, his equipment costs, his, all of it, all the ancillary costs. We cover all that. Do we have a motion to ratify the executed agreement? We have a motion from Commissioner Wiley. Do we have a second? Second from Commissioner Cresswell. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. All right, I kind of thought Katie might be here for this next one.
She said she wouldn't be able to.
She's not coming? Okay. Well, we'll move to item number 13, which is discuss and accept the Republican and Democratic Party election clerks and judges for fiscal year 26. In your packet, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 21 people on the Republican list, and 13 on the Democratic list. Most of these people are returns from last year and the last several years. I know you guys have gone around to the polls and stuff during elections and helped and stuff. We have a good group of volunteers. Very, very good group. Do we have, are there any concerns by any of the names on the list?
No.
we have a motion to accept the two lists as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion from Commissioner Cresswell. We have a second. Second from Commissioner Shook. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Item 14, discuss and consider burn restrictions. Don't see any reason to change. Did not.
It was sprinkling on me this morning.
It did rain a little bit this morning.
Scared me.
It did sprinkle a little bit.
Haven't seen that in my life.
And you know why it was sprinkling? It was because I was spraying for mosquitoes this morning.
Oh.
And so, yeah.
Washington.
Yeah, I know. That's why I bet you the biggest rain in Wayne County will be over my place. But, no action on burn ban? All right, we will stay in a burn ban. That brings us to the budget workshop. Do you want to just go into it, or does anyone need a little break before we start?
Take a little break.
All right, we'll take a 10-minute recess and we'll come back for a budget workshop.
We'll get Marcia to turn the camera off.
So this is, well, this is what, we were gonna present the budget today, this is what it looks like.
My guys there at 3 o'clock today.
Down to the farmer's market.
We want to do that asphalt.
Oh, yeah. No worries. All right, so this is not a final budget, but this is, if I was pretending like today was the final budget, this is what it would look like.
I was gonna be.
About 20 feet of it.
I just got that thing down, paper thin.
Straight down to the base.
Thank you, sir. We'll follow along with that. It looks like I did, cheated. It looks like you're getting
I still think we did it wrong. I argue that we should have made it a negative in longevity. So whereas everyone else is getting an increase, showing it as a negative, and then showing it as salary increase. I think it would have been more straightforward. But I was told that was not the way to do it. Yeah. I don't blame you.
I play it for all I can.
That's the smart move, right? I'm a true servant. I'm a giver. I'm a giver.
Okay.
Bunch of Crooked City people right there. You gotta watch that. All the in-ground both sitting too close together.
To do what?
Y'all think you're scaring me when you're this close together.
We're just listening.
I wonder if, and I didn't they're actually in the city council.
He said he wasn't doing nothing Saturday night.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's different from that.
Get on and do things. Basic electronics.
Problem solver.
And pools and there's Intel area and him studied up here. And he said that you can take practice tests. I did, yeah. First came, so I went through a couple of preps. I got tested. I'm trying to get my license. Yeah, I joked with the club. Certain youngest guy.